Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Amanda. This is my first YouTube video, so hope all goes well. Thanks for tuning in, and this particular video is all about uterine fibroids. I myself have basically had uterine fibroids for nearly 2 years, coming up next month in February. And I just want to hopefully help anybody that might be suffering with anything and how to not necessarily get rid of the fibroids completely. I'd love that to happen, but unfortunately it hasn't yet. But easing the symptoms has massively made a difference. So hope you enjoy. Please tune in, comment below, let me know your thoughts and your feedback. It'd be much appreciated. So I'd like to start this video by going through certain changes in my lifestyle and what I sort of diagnosed, how it came about, and just basically everything about it, so you can know a little bit more information. So the symptoms I had, first thing was really bad tiredness. I had really low energy, felt really tired, just really wiped out. Sort of second symptom I had was a rounded swollen stomach, so around like my midsection. It felt like I was carrying like a 3 to 6 month old baby. People started asking, when's your baby due? Oh, I didn't realise you had a child coming on the way. Fortunately, it was just non-cancerous muscle fibrous tissue growing in my uterus area. Sort of third symptom I had was quite really bad stomach pains. I used to have quite like big bad stabbing pains in my stomach. I used to keel over, used to sort of really hunch and roll myself over. Oh, it was really terrible, really bad. Another thing I had was a lot of queasiness. I felt quite queasy, particularly in the mornings and late evenings. Felt like I was going to vomit, but actually didn't. Another experience I had was a lot of heartburn, really bad heartburn, like morning through till night, every day, religiously. And another thing it was related to was toothache. Had really bad teeth, ache, really bad sort of gums, felt really tired, quite really lethargic with it. Sort of another symptom I had was severe like lower back pain. Had really bad lower back pain. To the point it felt like someone was like sort of stabbing me in the back, and then that obviously then led to, increased sort of hip pain around my pelvic area, and then it just led to a lot of headaches. So I had sort of about 10 symptoms in total. And my sort of journey over the past 2 years, when I sort of first diagnosed, I thought, right, let's go to the doctors, let's see what this is all about. They then referred me to a specialist at the hospital. And then from there, I then had my first scan where they basically put all the jelly around your stomach area. And they sort of said, right, I've got 3 large fibroids that are about the size of 3 grapefruits. Then I had another scan, which was like an MRI scan, which is basically all around my chest area, my stomach area. And they sort of checked to see where the uterine fibroids were sitting. They found out there were uterine fibroids because there's submucosal fibroids. There's quite a few, 3 different types of fibroids out there. And they found out that mine was uterine fibroids. And mine was sitting sort of in where the area where a baby would actually, be sitting. So they're my sort of areas that they were in. And then I also had a CT scan where they sort of insert blue dye into you, and then it feels like you've wet yourself. And then after that, it sort of tells you where it's sitting. And then my last one I had a few months ago was similar to a smear. But unfortunately, the specialist couldn't find my actual cervix. So then I just decided to discharge myself and make a few changes. I read a few books and really helped myself, did a lot of research, and over the past 3 months I've dramatically reduced my symptoms of fibroids. I only have, instead of 10, I only have 1 symptom, which is just a rounded stomach, which I can put up with, but I would like to get rid of that. Is the last sort of final stage I want to get rid of. And the main sort of thing I now want to go on to is, that was sort of my journey over the past 2 years. I've now decided to completely change my eating habits and my diet, and go to healthy living. And that has dramatically changed. What I've done in the past 3 months has completely changed my life. And I wish I'd known this sooner. I wish I read books sooner. I wish I hadn't even bothered going to the hospital. I wish I'd really done this myself, because what I've changed in 3 months has dramatically changed from what I did in 2 years. So hopefully this video will help you, and it will dramatically save you time, effort, and really hope this works for you. So the things I did was I cut out dairy. So no eggs, no yogurts, no cheeses. Sorry for the noise in the background, that's my little hamster, little Miss Terence, sort of going around, so apologies for the noise in the background, there's a little hamster going on. Anyway, back to what I was doing, and then I cut out meat. So I didn't really eat a lot of meat. I didn't eat sort of any red meat, I didn't eat any lamb or any beef. I only really ate chicken and fish, but I completely excluded that all from my diet. Next thing I did was cut out alcohol. I haven't really had alcohol in 2 years, not really fussed or bothered about it, but that's a real main thing. Didn't really have this either, but no caffeine, so no coffee or anything like that. I also cut out tap water, which is what I've just done over the past couple of weeks. So no tap water, try and have filtered water as much as you can, but not drinking it out of plastic bottles. If you can, please drink out of glass bottles. I know it might be a little bit costly, a bit of time and effort to try and find places. The only places I really found online for bottled water was Amazon. They were quite cheap. They were sort of like £20. Or if you want to shop local and can't be bothered to go on the internet, I got it from Waitrose, which was £1.50, or Marks and Spencer, which is £1.35. So hopefully you can get that sorted. Also, I switched foods out of plastic containers. So all the fruit and veg I ate, I took it out the plastic containers, and I literally store it in glass jars or in my fridge on glass or plates. That's a massive difference. The reason I do that is a lot of plastic has a lot of estrogen, and to try and balance your hormones, I basically decided to eat out of glass because it has no extra hormones in it and no plastic I'm consuming. Also, a big one for me, which I really love, junk food. So unfortunately, no crisps, no chocolate, no sweets, no cakes, no biscuits, no pastries. They had to be all completely sort of taken out. And also no processed food. So any food eaten out of breadcrumbs, any food again eaten out of plastics. And then also no fruit juices, no sort of orange juice, which I really loved, sort of cut out fizzy drinks. And then lastly, I've decided it's not a necessity, but try and cut out bread. But if you want to still have bread, go fresh from a bakery. Make sure you're having, sort of rye bread or sourdough, or just cut out the white bread, or seeded or wholemeal. So they're the sort of things I did cut out, which sounds a lot, but have made a dramatic difference. So the things I can eat and that I have been eating for the past sort of 3 months, which I'm going to try and keep doing for maybe another 6 to 8 months maximum, is eat as much fruit and veg as you can. If you can do organic, they do say that, but ideally it can be quite costly. So if you can't do that, just stick with, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables from supermarket. I go a lot to Lidl because it's really cheap there. Anything else I can't get, I'll go to, Tesco's. Next thing I did was cooking meals from scratch. Fortunately, I am no cook whatsoever. So my boyfriend, James, thank you, James, has really helped me out in making sure that I'm eating fresh produce and it's got no hidden sugars in, no hidden salts or any extra additives or processed stuff. So I've been making lots of homemade soups. I've been making lots of vegan and vegetarian foods out of cookbooks. Again, it's not been costly or expensive, and it's actually been really fun to make things from scratch. I know what's gone in, what hasn't gone in, and it's been really sort of, good for me. And also exercise, always exercised, always done that throughout my whole life. I used to be a personal trainer, so I know sort of what exercises I can and can't do, and I've incorporated and done that throughout, and that's made a dramatic difference in sort of helping me ease my symptoms. Another thing I do as well as exercising along with that program is doing sort of meditating, doing yoga or Pilates to help really stretch out like the sides around my stomach area. That's really helped ease sort of fibroid pains, particularly in my hip and pelvis area. Another thing I've done is herbal teas. So with herbal teas, they've got no caffeine in. Try and get ones particularly like pucca, that really are sort of organic and have not got any hidden things. And like I mentioned before, glass bottled water has really helped as well. And also try and reduce your stress levels. That really helps, because fibroids love junk food, bad food. They love all stress. They love it when you're, highly anxious and you're feeding it. You got to try and decrease the size of them and try and sort of shrink the fibroids, then you have less symptoms. Another thing I really do is hot lemon water, and then what I do is I chop up ginger and put it in whole into my hot water, and that's the first thing I drink in the morning, because that really cleanses out your stomach and your digestive system. And then also I have a herbal tea, and then I also have turmeric powder as well. Basically, I just bought it off Amazon, a big large packet. Just take a little teaspoon of it, put it in hot water and sort of wait for it to do. And that's really helped. So in the last sort of 3 months, I've seen a dramatic decrease in my symptoms. I now have no tiredness. I now have no stomach pains. I now have no queasiness, any heartburn, any lower backache, any heavy periods. I have quite light to medium periods, menstrual cycles. I have no toothache, no gum ache, no hip ache, and no headaches. The only symptom I have left is literally a rounded stomach, but instead of looking 6 months pregnant, I look about 3 months pregnant. So again, my diet has completely changed and my symptoms have dramatically eased. I can't stress that enough. The massive success I've had. In terms of sort of weight loss, inch loss, I've lost 15 pounds. I was quite heavy, quite round. My legs and my feet were quite heavy to lift. It was like I was carrying, sort of a 3 to 6 year month pregnancy. I've lost 6 to 8 inches off my stomach area. My energy has dramatically, increased, and it's just made a complete and dramatic difference. So anything you do, the tips and tricks I would explain to you is completely change your eating habits. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. My first sort of couple of weeks, I was craving lots of stuff and, it was really hard. But trust me, do it for 3 months. Your symptoms will be practically gone. I'm going to keep doing it for another 3 to 6 months, and hopefully, my symptoms will be completely symptomless. So I appreciate your time. Thanks for tuning in. Give my video a thumbs up, because I'm just starting brand new to this channel. I'd really like you to subscribe to my channel. And any questions or comments, please, put a comment down below, and I'll do a video soon. Thank you. Goodbye.